All right, we're joined now by the top seed of the fantasyfootballlive.com playoffs. Who is who-schumanzaduh and the manager Chris Leone. And Chris coming off a big win. Right now it's 159.5 to 96 over Salmonine's team. Hit you with that wham. Still have one more guy to go tonight, but it's in the books. Got to be pretty happy with your performance this week in the semifinals.
Oh, definitely. I had a little bit of a shaky week last week heading into the playoffs. I was able to still come away with the win, but it's always good to see that your players are peaking at the right time come playoff time. And, the win is great, but I'm only about 21, 22 points away from Steve Wanzik's record for the most points in a week, and hopefully Anquan Bolden can go and get it for me tonight.
Now, how important is that for you? A lot of coaches will just say it's about winning the week, but you have an opportunity here to, break that record and gain the Biddy banner.
Well, I mean, obviously winning is the number one important thing. That is the thing I am focused on. But with the win already locked up and already this close, you never know if you're going to have another chance. So, I want to go out and get it while I have this opportunity.
Now, a lot of people were looking forward to a possible rematch of the finals 2 years ago before you moved over to the ESPN League with you and Steve Andrus. That one went down to the wire in 2007. Not going to happen this year. He beat Smash Mouth Singletary football twice this year, was unable to do it. At least it looks like it's going to be that way. But what kind of challenge is it going to be to go up against the 3 seed in Tim Swartz?
Well, in respect to that Steve Andrus, Tim Swartz matchup, they say it's true in the NFL, and I guess it's true in fantasy football, that the hardest thing to do is to beat a team 3 times in the same season. But the thing about Tim's team, it's a very hit or miss team. He has a team that has the potential to rack up all sorts of points, but at the same time, he does have some players on his team that can go out there and just get, a couple of absolute duds. It is kind of intimidating knowing that he does have that home run potential, but at the same time, I have a lot more confidence in my team's consistency to put up the type of points needed to get the win.
Seems like every year you have the guys that'll put up the numbers as expected, like your Maurice Jones-Drews and your Brandon Marshalls this week. Maybe not the 42.5 that you expected from Marshall from this week, but at the same time, you have the guys that you'll pick up from the waiver wire. Jamal Charles of the Chiefs, 26.5 points this week. Where do you go out and find these guys? Every year you seem to do it.
Well, I mean, it's again, going back to what I said a little earlier, for me, it's a lot about consistency, and that starts off in the draft. I know a lot of guys, when it comes to drafting teams, want to prove how smart they are by going for these, super sleepers deep in the draft that, maybe on paper look great, and in a couple of years they could be very productive backs. But you want to get guys that can impact your team, right away. That's pretty much my general philosophy there. That I want to have my bench. That if I have injuries to who my starters are, I want to have depth on that bench that I can put guys in and, know that they can then plug away instead of maybe some guy who's third on the depth chart but has some upside in that regard. And, it was a tough decision this week because Cedric Benson's been very reliable for me this year, but then I had he was going up against Minnesota, who obviously has a very good run defense, so then it became between him and Charles, and I went with my gut and went off of matchup based over individual performance.
Now, we can't let you go without addressing the rumors that have been flying around fantasyfootballlive.com this year and a possible expansion to 12 teams next year, a third division added, possibly with the addition of 4 teams from the Syracuse class of 2010. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people say that those guys just don't have the knowledge to be a part of this league. Where do you stand on the matter?
You know what? I say as far as competition goes, the more the merrier. 2 years ago, I took down this league. It was a little bit of a different format. We didn't have the divisions set up or things like that. But the fact is, we had that format, and I came out on top this year. I'm in the championship game, so we want to add more players. Go ahead. I will gladly take on the challenge and look forward to having to prove myself again against expanded competition.
Well, best of luck in the upcoming championship. Who is who-schumanzaduh going for their second championship in 3 years? And Chris Leone, of course, the manager, one of the best and most consistent in the league in fantasyfootballlive.com. Chris, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Steve.